Alright, what's up everybody? We are on episode 17 of Death Note called Execution. A very fascinating title, and of course it immediately just makes me think about who is actually going to be executed, if anyone, right? But that's the thing, like coming right off of the previous episode, Light is doing a very good job getting the suspicion off of him. His plan is clearly working, although I'm still trying to realize the full extent of it, and who he figured was going to be committing then those killings that we've been seeing right after he departed or said goodbye essentially to the Death Note, right? So that's the thing. Misa lost her memory and she thinks that it's like a stalker who abducted her. Light, after 7 days of allowing himself to be imprisoned, said goodbye to the Death Note, instructed Ryuk to do that the moment that he would say it. And it actually again, he's completely lost all his memories himself now. He's a whole different person. And suddenly we find out that a couple days, I think it was later, a lot of, or maybe, 1 or 2 extra weeks, I'm not sure what the period was, not that it really matters too much, I guess, but a lot of new killings had happened. And the question then is, who's committing them? Is it Rem that somehow is like contributing to it because she knows that it will get Misa and Light cleared? Did somebody else get the Death Note suddenly? And then who? Because that's the thing, when I saw the title here, Execution, that's actually what it made me lean towards, that it's not going to be Misa, it's not going to be Light, and it's definitely not going to be his dad who will get executed here and will get any blame put on them, because again, right now they're doing a great job of protecting their identity. However, maybe this way, Light will be able to put the blame on someone else. So this person who committed these killings, maybe they'll be able to discover that one very quickly. And this is the person who they're just gonna, this is the person that L's just gonna, again, portray to be Kira. Or sorry, Light is gonna portray to be Kira. I'm not sure if I said Light or L, but whatever. Again, we'll kind of have to serve as I don't know, just bait, I guess, right? Or something like that, as a decoy, essentially, and just say like, oh yeah, this is who Kira was all along. Let's execute him now and we'll be done with him. Of course, I do wonder then afterwards, like, well, surely killings are going to continue after this person gets executed, if that's actually the direction it is going in. So I don't know if that will solve things. This show, we're not even halfway through, so keep that in mind, of course. But again, it's so crazy because you just figure like, man, how much longer can this show go on like this? Every single time they go just a little bit further, and I just totally hadn't expected that Light would be completely voluntarily give himself up in that previous episode and already say, oh, maybe I am actually Kira after all, right? Like, they're not in any way, they're just allowing everyone to think constantly about the possibility of him being Kira already, which means that, again, like, there's not a lot that you can do anymore to avoid people from finding it out eventually, right? At least I would think for like 20 more episodes, that's hardly possible. So I just think it's absolutely, great. I've been saying it, basically from the start, but I just love this show. I think it's so well made. It's so, like, the pacing of it is still the thing that stands out the most to me. I love the characters, I love the music, I love the storyline, but the pacing of it and the way that they so quickly and naturally at the same time go from event to event is basically unseen to me. Like, I haven't seen any show tackle it that quickly, I guess, and just constantly get to the point. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe one more thing that I could quickly touch on, because I find it so saddening, honestly. Like, the one character I feel just so bad for is Light's dad. And I really don't think, my gut feeling tells me, but it's just based on intuition and that's it. And my intuition is never the best, but I feel like nothing good can come out of his storyline, in all honesty. Like, he is such a great character. I love his moral, his sense, it's just his morality in general, I guess, the sense of morality that he has, where he's literally telling them, like, lock me up as well because I'm just letting my emotions get to me. I can't believe that we're detaining my own son. I refuse to believe that he would be Kira. He's just, like, heartbroken in a way, even over the possibility of it already. Where, again, like, all that he is in for eventually is a very harsh reality check. We know that because, of course, Light is Kira. So I assume he will actually find that out at some point. It definitely would be, a little unsatisfying if he never does. But then again, maybe that's also a possibility. But That's the thing, man. I feel like he's just gonna, yeah, I don't know. The way that I expect it to go is that he's gonna be just the most tragic character of the show in general, because either, yeah, he's gonna find out and be confronted with that reality and possibly die over it. Maybe he's just gonna like, again, maybe there will be no choice for Light but to kill him eventually, or something like that. Even though I don't know if he would go that far. Again, I still don't really know how he feels about his own. That's maybe the one thing that I still ask myself about. How does he look at his own family compared to his mission? Does he put the mission over his family, or does he put his family over the mission? Because that's something that, you know, shows that have done similar things that I've watched, they would address these things fairly quickly on. You know, like yeah, and stay consistent with it, I guess. Whereas this show hasn't really delved into that yet. Like, how does Light feel about his own family versus his mission? And would he put one or the other over, you know, the other, is then what I question. But yeah, man, I'm just super excited to dive in, and that's what we're going to do now, guys. So for now, of course, if you enjoy my reactions, you can already watch the next 8 episodes right now over on my Patreon. That is linked on top of the description. Over there, we will be on episode 25 right now, so you can binge all the way up until that particular episode. Full-length reactions are, of course, up there too, if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. But yeah, then with that being said, let's dive into episode 17 of Death Note.
こうして報道された犯罪者を消していってもらう。あとはこのノートをお前の好きに使っていい。そういう条件だ。
Who is Rem saying this to? Okay, so they were sort of like collaborating on this. Damn, who's this person? That looks like an absolute creep from the quick, you know, glimpse that we saw. Wow. Yeah, even L is like just surprised by his behavior. Right, he didn't even tell him about that. Damn, man, she's literally been standing / sitting here like this now for months. Oh my god. Yeah, you can say so. They kind of feel pressured into it because, yeah. It makes sense where they're coming from, but I love how L will not rule out anything unless he has definitive proof. Maybe he is gonna give in for once. It does seem like he's realizing that he's kind of outplayed all his cards. Yeah. Okay, going for the personal approach. We're not gonna hear that conversation? I love how Light's dad, no matter how driven he is, will still put his family over everything. Oh my god. She thinks it was him. Oh, I wonder what L told him his idea was, and I assume kind of shared a plan with him that he's now executing on. Why are they making them meet in this weird place? Like a parking garage? Oh man.
やっと疑いが晴れて自由になれるといったところか。
いや、これからお前たち二人を
What?
死刑台に連れて行く。ある施設の地下に極秘に設けられたその処刑場まで。
Surely they're faking this.
私が買って出た。お前たち二人を抹殺すればキラによる殺人は止まると断言した。お前たち二人を抹殺すればキラによる殺人は止まるというエルの提案を国連、政府、すべてのトップがあっさり聞き入れた。
バカな、待ってくれ父さん。僕はキラーじゃない。
I mean, I don't believe that's what's happening here. Obviously,
私
but
が決めたのではない。エルが決めたんだ。過去の何事
you
件
won't know what the strategy is once again,
彼が
as always.
ことは一度もない。エルはもしこれで殺人が止まらなければ自分の死をもって責任を取るとまで言っている。
エル、何を考えているんだ。何かおかしいぞ。だいたいエルらしくないじゃないか。
Something is definitely
今まで
strange.
のエルは全ての事件で確たる証拠を上げてきた。
Yep,
こんな形で終わらせる気か。
exactly. That's why it's not logical. Plus, of course, the dad would never allow this. I'm just in complete anticipation trying to figure out what they're
どこだ。
doing here, you know?
こんな人気のないところに連れてきて。
私が勝手に処刑場ではなくここへお前たちを連れ
Is
て
he pretending to be rescuing them or something, or what?
ライト。ここでお前を殺し私も死ぬ。
Wait, what?
何を言ってるんだ父さん。そんな。
This is going from one crazy idea into the next.
だったらまだ逃げた方がいい。
遅いライト。どの道お前は処刑される。ならばせめて私
Taking out a pistol? Oh my god.
やめろ父さん。わからないのか。
This is crazy.
息子と私はここで死ぬが、私がお前を殺す道理はない。ライト。殺人犯同士地獄で会おう。
What the fuck is happening? Yo, I'm at a complete loss of words. I don't see any bullet hole. Nor blood.
空砲。
A blank.
よかった。
Ah, was this like a final
だって
effort to see
父さん。
許してくれ。
what he would do?
見ていたか、龍崎。言われた通りやったが。
He watched through the
私は
mirror.
この通り生きている。
はい。
Oh, there's like a camera there.
あれならばアマネが姿を見れば殺せる第二のキラだとした場合、
Yeah,
ライト君が撃たれる前に八神さんを殺したと考えていいでしょう。
yeah, okay.
私の中のキラはいざとなれば親でも殺したはずです。
Oh, so Al does think that he would put his... Okay, I see.
演技を見破っていた可能性も否めませんが、しかし約束通り二人の監禁は終わりにし、
That's kind of the information that I wanted to hear. I assume he's right.
キラが捕まり全てが解明されるまでは監視下に置く。
何それ、まだ歌って
Damn, screwed herself over.
逆に警察に守られることにもなる。
Police protection.
じゃあミサ第二のキラじゃないし、ボディーガードがついたって思えばいいんだ。
Yeah, they can protect you from those other stalkers that you have.
私と24時間行動を共にし、捜査協力をしてもらうということで手を打ちます。
24 hours a day.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Damn, man. I wonder if then, yeah.
ここまでする
I
必要
guess
があるの
Al
か。
actually.
私だってしたくてしてるわけじゃありません。
Okay, well, he's still not ruling it out, I
24時間
guess.
行動を共にするってこういうこと？男同士でキモいよ。
Damn.
さんってこっち系？
私だってしたくてしてるわけではあり
Yo,
ません。
she and the sexual remarks
ライトは
always.
ミサのライトだし、ミサはいつライトとデートするの？
デートするときは
It's gonna have to be a threesome.
あなたの前でキスとかしろって言うの？
しろなんて言ってませんよ。失敗することにはなります。
God, I'm not ready for this,
ライ
man.
ト君、ミサさんを黙らせてください。
ミサは彼女でしょ？恋人を信用してないの？
彼女と言っても君が一目惚れしたと言っていつも一方的に押しかけてきているだけで。
じゃあ好きって言われたのいいことにやっちゃえってキスとかしたんだ。
その
Yeah, that's fucked up.
5月22日の青山なんですよね、ミサさん。その日なぜ青山
Interesting, yeah.
何を
That's still suspicious.
だからなんとなく言ったんだって何度言わせるの？あの日の気持ちとか着てた服とか本当に覚えてないの？
ではもしライト君がキラだったらどう思いますか？
もしライトがキラだったら最高。ミサは両親を殺した強盗に裁きを下してくれたキラに
Yeah, she's still openly admitting to that.
ライトがキラだったらライトもっともっと好きになっちゃう。もうこれ以上好きになれないくらい今も好きだけど。
This does
キ
all
ラですよ。キラをもっと好きになるって
add up.
全然思わないんですか？
ライトがキラだったら
That, like, if he finds out that they kind of lost their memories, then this all makes sense, you know, eventually.
怖いどころかきっと何かお役に立てないか考えるよ。
しかしこれだと第二のキラがミサさんであることは間違いないんですが、あまりに間違いなさすぎてそう思いたくなくなってきました。
思わなくて正解
It's all so
ミサは
confusing.
キラじゃありませんから。
これからは松田さんが松井マネージャーとして常に同行すると事務所にお金を渡し通してあります。絶対に自分からバラさないように。
These characters are so fantastic.
マネージャーって嫌だな。
Old man. He's not that old.
桃だとかデートだとかキスだとかミサミサだとか
Misa Misa talk.
これはキラ事件なんだ。もっと真面目にやってくれよ。
すみません。
さあモネ、君は自分の部屋へ。じゃないわ。
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him, dude. Yo. These scenes are absolutely ridiculous.
いや、さっきも言ったように彼女が一方的に。
じゃあライト君も本気であるように振る舞ってもらえませんか？
女性のそういう気持ちを利用するなんて僕にはできない。
No, Light, you went back to being such a good guy.
行為を踏みにじるようなことは僕の中で
Unforgivable.
許せない
Absolutely
憎むべき
unforgivable.
行為なんだ。
Indeed.
やはり何かがおかしい。性格が変わったとしか。
Yeah, it is interesting actually that his personality also changed because in all fairness, even before the Death Note,
ていたという考えだけでなく、八神ライトも。
he wasn't like this, you know?
しかし捜査上の秘密等が彼女から漏れないよう、ライト君からもよく言っておいてもらえ
He
る。
seems much more ethical all of a sudden.
龍崎、何日かおきにホテルを転々とするこの今の体制。
ええ、私もずっとそうしたいと考えていました。ですから、八神さんたちと顔を合わせ、捜査をすると決めた時からすぐに
Construction for what?
建設に取り掛かってはいたんです。これです。
From where are they going to be operating from all of a sudden? Oh no, some skyscraper?
地下2階。捜査員を増やすことになっても60人くらいまでは大丈夫です。ミサさんにはワンフロア与えれば文句も出ないでしょう。
どんなことをしても解決したい。
どんなことをしてもというのならミサさんとより親密になり作
それはできない。人道に反する。
そうですか。残念です。
龍崎、八神さん、ライト君、どんなことをしてもキラを捕まえましょう。うん。
Yeah, that one big theme now again. Oh my god. The comic relief in this episode is something else though. I just love the little extra remarks from these characters. Okay, so this has to do with the REM scene from the beginning, I assume? Yotsuba Group? Oh no.
しかしキラーはなぜ悪人を裁くだけでなくこんな殺人まで請け負い始めたんだ。
キラにとってこれが得になるからに決まってるだろう。
キラの
What the hell? It's a
キラが殺し合う
corporation?
お前も黙ってた方がいいと思うよ。
A killing service?
殺されるから。
キラが一企業に肩入れするなんて変な話だ。どう考えたってこの8人の誰かがキラってことじゃないか。
Holy shit.
人間って生き物は
They're always fascinating.
実に醜い。
And disgusting, yep. Jesus, okay, a whole new act is beginning, it seems. You know what the biggest takeaway for me actually was during this episode? I just realized that as I started thinking through a little bit more about everything that we saw. But it was the fact that Light's dad was actually there willing to put his own life on the line, to figure out, or basically to get his son freed, I guess, right? And to do that final attempt at like seeing what would happen in the most, the craziest sort of situation with no end in sight, or like with no solution in sight anymore, which was like him basically announcing that he was just going to be killing Light on the spot there, pulling out the pistol and even like literally firing the trigger and stuff, right? They could have never figured that that would have been, that it would have been a blank and that he wasn't actually going to do it. So this was just the team's way of clearing the suspicion on these characters. Not entirely yet, right? Because there will always be those hints pointing at them and stuff, and it will continue. That's the thing. That's why Al continues to be tying himself towards Light, and why they're going to be looking over Misa and stuff. But for now, it meant that there was nothing else they could do but this, the most crazy situation. And again, they had figured that if these guys were in fact the first and second Kira, then one of them would have actually killed Light's dad there on the spot. And so again, he was willing to sacrifice himself for the truth, which is crazy to think about, because it's even the thing that El then later brings up, what he figures about Light, which is exactly what I talked about in the intro. Would Light put his mission over his family? And El says here, yes, he would do it. And it's actually like, it's definitely, if I had to, it sounds easy maybe to say in hindsight now, but like if I had to answer that question, I would have probably said the same. Like, I'm not sure if he would have done it now yet, but eventually he would have gotten to that point where, like, if he had to make a choice between protecting his identity or killing his dad, he would have killed his dad. You know what I mean? Or I should rather say, revealing his identity to the world or killing his dad, right? Like, he would actually kill his dad. So yeah, I don't know. Again, it's tragic. To me, it's tragic because I think Light's dad is easily one of my favorite characters. He's definitely the one that's the easiest to root for, I should say. And so I just know that he's gonna have to face some type of really sad fate, no doubt. Like, that's definitely where I see the story go eventually. And I don't know if that will be towards the very end of the show or if it's gonna happen earlier than that, because again, things move fast, and I don't know. Again, I've always been wondering about, like, okay, Light versus L. Is that going to be literally sort of the 1v1 that's going to happen for the entirety of the show? Is it going to be resolved earlier than that? Because I still see it eventually going into some other crazy direction, perhaps with the Shinigami realm that's being involved, because that's something that, of course, we've gotten teased a couple of times, and they're not really going back to that right now, but maybe that's something that they'll save. Like, maybe Light is literally going to turn into a god at some point, or, like some type of overarching presence, that not even a living human being anymore in the world or something. Like, that's definitely also what the intro in some way already sort of hints at, showing him there as like this angel or whatever. I really wonder if that's where it could ultimately go. But yeah, like, what am I even trying to say anymore? I don't know. It's just like, it's sad, like I said, especially because I just like his dad so much, and it's he has such a, he's so pure in his intentions and pure at heart, and he doesn't want to even face the possibility of Light being Kira. That it's just it's really sad to me to see, because like I said, I really do root for him. Now, that being said, maybe there's two things I can talk about. The one thing that I really liked about this episode in general that I should just point out, although there's not a lot more to say, but I really liked the comedy moments in this episode. They were absolutely fantastic. Misa is just hilarious with the sexual remarks that she throws in a couple times. Even Elle kind of did that. Yeah, and then the main portion that we're kind of moving towards, and the big tease, I guess, that's happening, is that we're going to be dealing with a whole new group of people, I guess, like a corporation, right? This being teased, of these 8 guys, which is interesting because I wonder if, like, among these 8 is the character then that Rem was initially talking to in the early scene. But so these were actually the people responsible for killing those criminals. And so again, I just read a quick synopsis afterwards of the episode that we just watched, just to make sure I got all the details. But like, it said in there how Rem even made clear to them, and I'm not sure if I got that during the episode, but like, they couldn't well, at least previously, I feel, but probably also moving forward, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they are forced to actually still kill criminals, but they can kill criminals in their own interest, I guess. That's the thing. Apparently they're gonna have these interests of their corporation at heart, and like, all the killings that they will be committing is not from a moral perspective like Light does, but it's more from a lucrative, I guess, perspective or something, right? Of like killing the competition, I guess. So are they allowed to kill like, I don't know, other corporation CEOs who get themselves involved in money laundering or stuff like that, I guess? Like, could that be a possibility? And then Rem even comments at the end, humans are disgusting. Which, yeah, you know, Rem is not wrong. Like, humans are disgusting. That's the thing. Like, you can look at these guys here who are going to be doing it, I guess, more from a corporate perspective. But even Light, like what he does, can be seen totally as disgusting too, although it's from a completely different angle, right? Maybe there's going to be people who even have other intentions later on, and that would be the reason why they would kill people. But yeah, I don't know, it's fascinating. It makes me wonder, like, where is it gonna go? Where is it all gonna go from now? I'm gonna be thinking about that for the days to come before I dive into the next episode. So that's what I look forward to doing. But of course, for now, guys, if you enjoy my reactions here to Death Note, you can already watch the next 8 episodes right now over on my Patreon, which is linked on top of the description. Over there, we will be on episode 25 right now for you to binge all the way towards. Along with, of course, full-length reactions if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. But then with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed my reaction here to episode 17 of Death Note, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.